Okay, class. We are starting again on section 2.6, and this is example 8b. We're dealing with this trapezoidal prism. It says the volume of this figure is the area of a trapezoid multiplied by the length. So, we would take the volume, this is the area of a trapezoid times the length. So, we will have 1/2, the height here is 3 centimeters, which we have. Then we have the larger base, which is here, from here to here, which is 5 centimeters. The smaller base is up top here, which is 2 centimeters. And then also the length is here, which is 6 centimeters. So we will have 1/2 times 3 centimeters, 5 plus 2 is 7 centimeters, times 6 centimeters. Now 3 times 7 times 6 is 126, and centimeter times centimeter times centimeter is cubic centimeters. So we will have half of 126, which is 63. So our final answer is the volume is 63 centimeters cubed. Now we go to example 9. It says finding the surface area of a prism is just a matter of finding the area of all of its different surfaces. The figure below is made up of two triangles and 3 rectangles. Now if you look here at this figure, if you notice on your course pack it is typed, but because of some technical computer issues I had to write this in. So we have 4 centimeters for the height, 3.5 centimeters for the base, and then as far as the length goes is 6 meters. Now we have the area is equal to 2 times half of base times height, because it is asking us what is the area of the triangular ends. We had 2 triangular ends and they are the same size. So we will have 2 times the area of a triangle. So we had 2 times 1/2, the base is 3.5 meters, and then the height is 4 meters. So we will multiply everything. Well, we'll take 3.5 times 4, which gives us 14, and meters times meters is square meters. So now we would take half of 14, which gives us 7, and we'll have 7 square meters, and 2 times 7 is 14 square meters. That is the area of these triangles. Okay, now we go to the next question. What would be the area of the rectangular sides of the prism? Now we had 3 rectangular sides, so we had 3 times the length times the width, because we know the regular area is just length times the width, but since we had 3 rectangles, we will multiply this by 3. So we had 3 times, now we know this is the side of a rectangle, so that would be 6 meters, and then this other side here is basically the same length as this side here from this triangle. So it'll be 3.5 meters. Or you could look at it like this here. You have this flat triangle here. And then this is one side of the triangle, and this is the other side of the triangle. So this is how we have our length times our width. Now, if we multiply this out, 3 times 6 times 3.5 will give us 63 square meters. Now, we scroll down, and we're using the same figure here. It says what would be the total surface area of the prism. So what you would do is you would take your first area, which gave you 14 meters square of the triangular ends, and then you would add the second area, which was the 3 rectangles. So we have 14 meters squared plus 63 meters squared, which gives us 77 square meters. And that is our surface area. Now we come down here to example 10. Now example 10 says find the surface area of the prism below. Okay, so now we want to find the surface area here. Now if you look here, if you look at this trapezoidal prism here, we have 2 trapezoids, one on this side and one on this side. So we would do the surface area of both of these trapezoids here. So we will have 2 times half of the height times the base plus the base. Okay, so we have 2 times 1/2, we know is just 1. So we will end up with the height times the base plus the base. Now the height here is 3 centimeters, or we just wrote 3 here. Okay, the larger base is 5 and the smaller base is 2. So now we would end up with 3 times 7, which is 21, and it's 21 centimeters squared. Okay, now what we're going to do is the surface area of this rectangle here. Okay, so now we have this rectangle here and the one on the back. They're the same size. Okay, so what we will have here is 2 times the length is 6 centimeters and the width is 3.5 centimeters. So we add 2 times 6 times 3.5, which gives us 42 centimeters squared. So now we come down here. We also have the surface area of the other rectangle, which sits at the top here. So we would have our length, which is still 6, and then our width, which would be 2 centimeters. So we multiply that, that gives us 12 square centimeters. So what we have here, we did the rectangle on this side, the rectangle in the back, and also this rectangle here. So far we've covered 3 rectangles and 2 trapezoids. Now we come here. We add this third rectangle, which is the larger rectangle here. So we add the surface area is equal to the length, if you notice it's still 6 centimeters, times the width, which is 5 centimeters. 6 times 5 give us 30, so it's 30 centimeters squared. Okay, now we have done all of the sides. So now we can add all of them together. We did all the surface areas of all the sides. So now we add them together. We have 21 plus 42 plus 30 plus 12, and that gives us 105 centimeters squared. Okay, now we scroll here to this next problem. It says, what is the name of the shape to the left? This shape is a cylinder. It says, is it a prism? It's no. Recall that the definition said that ends were polygons, and we know this is not a polygon. Is that true here? No, so it's not a polygon. Okay, now it says, well, whether or not this is a prism, you can certainly find the volume in the same way. Just find the area of the end and multiply it by the length. Fill in the box below with the statement of the volume of this figure. The volume is pi times radius squared times height. Now it says here, let's think about the surface area of the figure. If you cut the figure open, you would get something that looked like the figure below. First, convince yourself that that is true, and then see if you can use this picture to figure out the formula for the surface area. Then put the formula for the surface area in the box provided. Okay, now we need to scroll down. And our surface area is 2 pi radius squared plus 2 pi radius height. Now it says here in example 11, find the volume and surface area of the following cylinder. Okay, this is a cylinder that is provided, and let's go through the steps. The volume of a cylinder is pi radius squared h. So we put in the pi, which is 3.14, and then we put in the radius. Remember, radius is half the diameter. This is considered to be the diameter, so we would take half of that, which would give us 2, and then we would do the height, which is 7. So we had 3.14. This 2 meters squared would give us 4 meters squared, and then times 7 meters. Now when we multiply all of this out, this will give us 87.92 cubic meters. Now we go down here to the next surface area. We have 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. So now we substitute in the values. 2 times 3.14 times 2 meters squared, because in the previous problem we know that the radius is 2 meters. And then we will have 2 times pi, which is 3.14, times the radius times the height. Okay, now 2 times 3.14 times 2 meters squared will give us 25.12 meters squared. And then when we take 2 times 3.14 times 2 meters times 7 meters, that would give us 87.92 1.92 meters squared. And then we add these two values together, and it will give us approximately 113.04 meters squared. And that is it from this problem here.